Welcome. And today we're gonna cover some interesting information about zero hedge. Okay, hold on a second. We're gonna say we are in the ZEN news, zero hedge news, ZEN news. We're gonna cover the ZEN topics. Hold on a second. Okay, cool. All right, let's find out real quick how we're doing in terms of our audio. How are we doing with our audio? Let's find out real quick how we're doing in terms of our audio. Yeah, much better. Let's find out real quick how we're doing in terms of our audio. Yeah, much better. Okay, that's cool. All right, in that regard, we're just gonna need to kill off this. That's cool. All right, in that regard, and this. All right, so what do we have here? Is Soros-backed activist, district attorney gets robbed, becomes a victim of her own system. So, as you can see, this is the dilemma that we have been experiencing in the United States, where the George Soros was able to continuously pour capital into district attorneys within the United States, and the consequences of his open border policies that have been having an effect on our basic day-to-day life within American political, social, economic, and even just basically living standards. So let's take a look at what's going on. So it seems like she unexpectedly received $130,000 in 2018, and then she wins in 2022 on a campaign on a radical criminal reforms in Auckland area. Her primary position that minorities are disproportionately targeted by law enforcement and the criminal court system, that the equity policing would stop the rise crime rates. So I'm going to assume that definitely did not work. So she basically ran on bogus position because it was bankrolled by George Soros, it seems, and the people were dumb enough to vote for this, or rather, not dumb. It served their purpose. Tells you a lot about what's going on in Oakland. Anyway, let's continue with the story. So then she, she's no longer taking office. Whoa. Suspicious behavior and decisions. Not longer after taking office, she hired her boyfriend. Well, how interesting, conflict of interest right there. Took her office as a senior program specialist with a 6-figure income. Oh, that's cool. And anybody else do that in their jobs? I mean, it's fine, I guess. It happens, I can imagine. Maybe he's qualified. She's then trying to interfere in a triple murder for hire case, creating a plea deal. Jesus. Reducing his sentence to a maximum of 15 years, even though he was eligible for 75 years. That's ridiculous. Okay, so that's basically weak on crime. Okay, so please deal, drop 2 charges. Suffered degree was a disaster for Bay Area, skyrocketing crime by 41%, increasing burglaries and 20% increase in robberies. That led the residents demanding her recall. Jesus. And the surrounding metro area does not report full violence crimes data. Cases doesn't find. So basically, the violent crime rose by 20%, but the burglaries were up 41%. Okay. Residents say prices soft on crime antics are making things far worse for the community and costing innocent lives. No surprise there. Ironically, prices become victim of her own policies, where she was at 3 p.m. on some street, and I guess she got. Well, let's watch what happened.
Crimes like this one, where a thief just runs up behind a woman, grabs her purse, and then takes off in her car.
Our Dahlin spoke to.
Wait, I'm sorry. He stole her car too?
Hiring private security. Neighbors tell me they're used to property crime around here, but things...
Oh, that's funny. I wonder if she was just targeted on purpose. That's ridiculous. Other day in the United States. Let's moving on to the next one. Tucker and Farage, why are Muslim countries taking Muslim refugees? Well, that's a sensitive topic. So Tucker Carlson sat down with the former United Kingdom politician Nigel Farage to discuss where refugees from current conflicts in the Middle East should go. Well, perhaps they should go to the neighboring nations now, like Egypt, Sudan. Well, that's not close, but Egypt, right? We got Syria, well, that's foreign countries, Saudi Arabia, Iran. Why not taking those? Well, we know why, but let's see what the arguments are. What was this? Is there short 13 videos? Okay, we'll speed this up.
What we can be certain of at this point is that there are going to be a lot of refugees, hundreds of thousands, possibly millions. Where?
Oh, videos.
That's a real question. So if you were to suggest, well, why doesn't Israel take them in? It's their war. The response you would get would be immediate, and it would be aggressive, and it would be, of course not, that's insane. These people are dangerous. If they were moved to Israel, it would be destabilizing for that country. And that's probably true. In fact, it's certainly true. But what's interesting is the very same people who would tell you that are now pushing for those refugees to be sent to the West, to English-speaking countries, Scotland, the UK, and yes, the United States. Calls for this are coming from the left, predictably, but also from the so-called right. We should take these refugees. What's going on here? And is anyone pushing back against it? Well, Nigel Farage is the head of the UK Independence Party, joins us now with an update on where this conversation is going. Nigel, thank you so much for coming on. So it's a little strange that the very people who acknowledge that this would be a massive threat to Israel, and they're actually calling for Israel to take these refugees, but those same people are saying the UK and the US and Scotland should take them. What's the thinking here?
I mean, we have a great history in the UK of taking refugees. You can go back 300 years to the Protestants in France who were being burned at the stake, and we took in a large number of French Protestants, Huguenots, as they were known, and they did very, very well in commerce, finance, the military in our country. The same applies to Jewish people. We took Jews in from Russia after the pogroms at the start of the 20th century. We took Jewish people in from Germany and Austria in the 1930s, and indeed, if we go to the 1970s, we took...
Oh, you're also calling us a few things.
Where Idi Amin threatened to annihilate the Asian population there. And again, they were a group that came to the country, assimilated, did incredibly well. So, you know, we feel, as a country, with our Christian roots and our desire to help those in genuine need, that we should try and help people. But remember that the duty of any government, its primary duty, is the integrity...
Okay, well, we understand how that goes. All right, let's see. We're just going to read this up real quick. So if you're any significant number from Gaza in our country, you will have significant percentage of Hamas sympathizers and supporters among them, which makes sense. Everybody somehow interested in where they came from. Okay, so we have allowed the virus of Marxism to hold down the countries. Yep, it's not only just their countries, it's also being noting how Britain and the United States have been indoctrinated with this toxic blend of guilt over colonial past. Okay, interesting. Moving on. Biden policies deliver 50-60 billion to Iran. Wow, that's interesting. How did that happen? By making concessions to mullahs, who are the world's largest state-sponsored terror, the Biden administration has indirectly pumped more than 50 billion into their coffers, enabling untold violence and international destabilization, threatening our allies, implicating our energy supply chain. Just administration also introduced under unprecedented handcuffs on U.S. energy independence. Okay, it allows sales uranium oil worth of $40 billion. That's because we put sanctions in Russia. Makes sense. It allows the sale of electricity to Iraq, bringing us 10 billion. Okay, well, in there, but okay. Most recently released another 6 billion to Iran and Iranian cash. Fortunately for all, the current custodian in the cash, Qatar, has agreed to hold on to those payouts for now, despite the universal program and hard sanctions on Iran. Yale University and Johns Hopkins University has partnered with Iran entities to research in the country since 2013 on the expiry time. Well, research. Okay, so here's, let's see anything going on here. OPEC, Iranian electricity. Earning this year, Iraq has made $10 billion in frozen axle ability of paying natural gas to Iran, buying with Iran. $6 billion in frozen Iranian assets. I wonder what those are. We actually were obligated to give them back. I don't know that. U.S. federal grants spent in Iran. Okay, so National Science Foundation also funded $17,000 for Yale University's doctoral dissertation research in Iran. I don't think this is a big deal. $17,000. Seriously, guys. But both universities have large endowments, 40 billion in Yale's. Doesn't seem anything. Just an opinion. Peace, okay. Alright, ADL caves after lips off TikTok. Levies legal threats over defamation. Okay, not only have they defined me, they have limited territories like Hamas. They have until to remove this definite before forced to. Okay, good for her. It's crazy. Big win. Yep. All right. In the war on truth, it's time to become heroes. What was talking about? The real axis of evil is the treason in empires of lies. What is the treason? Okay, that makes sense. The conscious and intelligent manipulation of organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed, our minds are molded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested largely by men we have never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democracy society is organized. A vast number of human beings must cooperate in this manner if they are to live together in a smoothly functional society. In almost every act of daily lives, whether in the sphere of politics or business, in our social conduct or ethical thinking, we dominate by a relatively small number of persons who understand the mental processes of social patterns of the masses. If it is they who pull the wires which control the public mind. Edward Bernays, Propaganda, 1928. Can't really argue that, can we? Especially past 3 years of experience gave us all that knowledge that a small group of experts pretty much dictate 7 billion people what to do. But let's move on. Axis of evil seems to be interchangeable based upon the who deep state needs to be an enemy of any given time, right? Bush was North Korea, Iraq, and Afghanistan, or it was Iran, okay. Right, now we're basically back to the same. Okay, I always thought the quote about attributes Orwell was really from Ron Paul. Either way, we're most certainly living in an empire of lies, right? Where the war on truth is relentless and never ending. Yes, that's why, wow. What's the, I forgot his name. WikiLeaks founder is still in prison. Assange, right? I think so, right? Wow, we need to talk more about that. Okay, let's go on. That's funny. CIA killed JFK. It's kind of hilarious. Inflation is only 15%. Why is the numbers suppressed? Oh yes, of course. That's what the matter of the war on truth. Yep. Oh yeah, hold on. The war on truth is relentlessly fought by our ruling class as their co-conspirators, minions in regime media and Silicon Valley parent social media propagandists. That's right. Okay, what they fail to mention in government spending is a majority of component of GDP calculations, and your friendly government drones added 1.1 trillion to the national debt in the third quarter to artificially boost GDP. Really? That's not good. In addition, they used an inflation rate of 3% in their calculations with artificially government borrowing and spending, and using the real inflation of 8 to 10% you experience in the real world. The real GDP is really negative 5% or worse. So 40% of the working age population is not working. Only 50% have a full-time job. The government just pretends 100 million working age people chose not to be employed, so they don't count. Jesus Christ. How electric cars save the planet. Okay, with gasoline or diesel engine car, the fossil fuel is burned under the hood, emitting greenhouse gases from the tailpipe. Okay, but with an electric car, the fossil fuel are pumped, alright, so they burn away where they can't see them, emitting greenhouses where they can't detect them, to power a battery that poisons children who makes them, so you can impress your friends. Yes, of course. And we're coming back to the statistics. What's this? The further a society drifts from truth, the more it hates those who speak it. Makes sense. It's time to in a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. So true. Society has lost its beautiful lives, so basically empire of lies. Alright, bunch of crooked people. Nothing. Yeah, okay. What's going on here? Fetterman staffer shoves a man into streets after he asks a simple question on Gaza. I'm just asking, you're a good guy. I voted for you. I know you're a nice guy. This is important. Okay.
I voted for him. I'm sorry, this isn't democracy. It absolutely is. Yeah, but kind of, sort of. Why? 10,000 people in Gaza have been killed, half are children. The Pope's calling for a ceasefire. The UN has called for it. I'm just asking you, you're a good guy. I voted for you. I know you're a nice guy. This is important. Here, can I give you a phone?
That's a democracy in action. They always have those personal guards, don't they?
He just assaulted him. He just assaulted him. He just assaulted him. He just assaulted him.
Oh boy. Stage maybe on them. Whatever. Bullshit. Put it on. Let's hear some good news. Let's take a look at that. Okay, this is like fun. This is interesting. Okay. Okay. Oh yes, let's talk about the winter. Okay. Let's come back. Israeli ground troops rescue hostages after Mossad chief's secret trip to Qatar. Okay, she's home. Looks like a young kid. Okay, so what they have here. More Israeli troops have been surged into the strip. I don't speak Israel, Jewish, Hebrew. Okay, Mario says forces block key Gaza North. Nothing declares an invasion. Must remember the holy blah, of course. And I believe this is girl is dead. Okay. Okay, that's nice. Used to borrow $1.5 trillion. Get that idea. Texas reclaims an island from Mexican cartel in the fight to rest secure border. That's cool. Texas law enforcement recently took control of dangerous islands used by human traffickers. Law enforcement set foot on the island for the first time on Monday. Why? Described the island as a law enforcement free refugee one where cartel went for refugees when they were needed. Okay, clearing an island and taking away cartel's shelter. They are finding caches of weapons and more than I can speak fully about it. Okay. Texas is still getting flooded with illegal immigrants. We're seeing millions and millions of folks coming through across the border. Yes, let's see. The New York mayor is complaining about thousands of people coming in. Streaming across the border. With enough fentanyl across the border to kill every man, woman, child in the United States. This has to stop. Well, yeah. In September alone, Border Patrol recorded 269,000 migrants. 200,000 of whom were attempting to cross illegally. Okay. Salesforce here demanding return of law and order across crime-ridden San Francisco. Took them long enough. I guess finally the eggs comes to roost. Mark Binoff, the CEO of Salesforce, San Francisco's largest employer and anchor tenant, the city told Skybreaker, urges progress leaders in the city hall on Sunday night to reverse course on defunding the police. Okay. Let's see what he tweeted about. Next. San Francisco was to fund the police, not to continue to fund the police. San Francisco Police Department sheriffs are the key to safety and clean San Francisco every day. Must be returned plus 2,000 plus officers within 18 months. Okay, let's see what Elon Musk looks like Elon Musk chipped in this. We must also grant law enforcement officers the respect and honor they deserve. Yep. Every profession has flawed individuals, but it was always deeply wrong to condemn police officers after they risk their lives to keep us safe with the sins of the few. True. Doesn't mean there should be some reform, but doesn't mean it has to be defund. As on track to set record to fatal drug overdose this year. Okay, homeless man who had been advertising free fentanyl across the street. I read that. That's crazy. Insanity even. A woman bathing herself by the hydrant. Okay, that's not much. While USA government spending billions on war, San Francisco organized themselves into crime rings to survive. Jesus. Microsoft to vacate 50,000 square feet of office space in San Francisco as tech exodus continues amid drug and crime doom loop. Wow. What is she kneeling to? What is she kneeling to? Oh, the mayor. The Democratic mayor allowed to breathe the reversed course on her defunding the police. She was requesting more funding police a move to attract business like okay. Yeah, where were you 2 years ago? How obvious. Yep. Bad policies. Yep. Alright, let's take a look. Biden throws $45 billion in the federal funds to convert houses into homes. To convert offices into homes. Okay, so I guess we're done with offices. Assume you can convert offices into homes. Who wants to live in them? Oh, I don't know. I think people might will. Let's see. $45 billion. Just looking for some sort of what is it? Hope is not a strategy. Co-founder CEO of VTS. Leasing and asset management data company. The hope that if you convert it, they'll come. Well, a lot of demand depends on where the building is. Where that building is. While the New York City downtown financial district is a home number of successful office to residence conversion, it's also a vibrant neighborhood with bustling cafes, groceries, and more. That is not the same for San Francisco. The infrastructure and the cost of conversion, building the part of it. But I'm more concerned about even if it can convert it, who wants to live there? What's cheaper? Is it cheaper to add amenities in maybe a zombie building at the floor to create a better experience, or is it cheaper to knock the entire building down and build something else to pray to God you leased it and pray to God you leased it? That sounds dire. Many buildings probably won't work. Washburn says, observing that thick concrete office floor plans often needs to be drilled through pummeling and heating system overhauled with local buildings goes added to the attics, of course, California, right? It's a lot easier and cheaper to demolish it and start from scratch. That means buying buildings essentially at the cost of the land. Oh my god, that's horrible. Simple idea. I had to read this article twice to find a simple idea mentioned in the headlines. The article never really explained it, but I believe it. It's in the last paragraph above. Incentives and free money from the government. Last paragraph. Washburn said hopes for expansion of office to residential conversion across efforts in Los Angeles in thousands likely hinge on an incentive for developers and buildings being in place where people want to work, eat, live, and shop. Until they're able to come back, it's difficult to create a vibrancy that was pre-pandemic. Okay, with enough subsidies, developers will try nearly anything. Then when the projects fail, the developers ask for more money. Okay. All right. It's this COVID authority and wants forgiveness. Here's why they don't deserve it.
My kids' school during COVID, I wanted a harsher lockdown policy, and in retrospect, I was wrong. The damage to kids of keeping them out of school longer.
Oh, look who's here.
The risks. But here's the bottom line. Myself, our great people, the CDC, governor, we were all operating with imperfect information, and we were
imperfect information. Some had some information, and they decided to shut it down.
Let's learn from it. Let's learn from it. Let's learn from it. Let's hold each other accountable. But let's bring a little bit of grace and forgiveness in the shit show that was COVID.
All right. No apologies, of course. Yeah. Okay. 60 million Americans under freeze alerts as a powerful Arctic blast crashes temporary nationwide. Oh, look at that. Let's see. I've heard about this already a week ago. Let's see how bad it's going to be. According to private weather forecast PMX, cold air invasion has already begun. That is true. We first called a major Halloween cold from 2 weeks ago. That's when I heard it. Let's see what its temperature will be. Ooh, it's gonna be kind of cold. It's gonna be really cold in Texas too. Wow, there's some spots will be minus 20 Fahrenheit. That's gonna be brutal. Fox Weather said the cold blast will affect more than 250 million Americans from coast to coast, while 60 American mills will be from Big Bend of Texas to Great Lakes, Ohio, will be under cold weather alert. New York is going to be spared. Okay, except this area. That's a 65-degree difference. You won't hear it from political leaders or the mainstream media, but 2023 has been the year where record cold weather temperatures have fallen on every continent. Okay. Now it's gonna get snowy. Cool. And the last one of the day is Bitcoin deflationary and what to expect next. Inspired by Zero Hedge article. So how those closest to the printing press benefit not just disproportionately but at the expense of everybody else. But life has a funny way to balancing out. See Latins versus Bitcoin will actually continue to be inflationary until 2140, when the last Bitcoin will have been mined. That's 117 years away. What Bitcoin actually is deflationary because people are incentivized to save rather than to spend it, and to make sound investment with it rather than a foolishly levered one. Okay. Bitcoin is currently undergoing an adoption phase quite similar to the opposite to the continuous effect. Prime reason because masters of the universe cannot inflate it. Okay, talking about Bitcoin, they can print it, they can finance wars with it, they can't steal it. They can steal it from citizens. In the end, Bitcoin offers a world for feet, parallel systems. Yes. Asks. Okay. Personally, as geopolitics implode, markets dislocates, and financial world starts to break, I've never been more bullish on high version of Bitcoin. The Ponzi is washed out. ETF approval will not only infuse billions in capital, but importantly, blast a positive feedback loop and credibility onto the world stage. The next halving starts in about 6 months, which means we cuts the new supply by creation by 50%. The next bull run will ramp up, and the next presidential election will be a shit show. At least two second-tier candidate potential representatives to vote there. Much more Bitcoin. The fact that I introduced 3 years ago, merely the US dollar has lost its world reserve currency status, will slowly, painfully, begrudgingly make it its way into American zeitgeist, and Bitcoin will be taken seriously as a vehicle fight to quality, to fight for quality. Okay, makes sense. Smart money of Larry Link, BlackRock already calling for that. Yeah, makes sense. Crypto is going to be the future, of course. Ask yourself, it's more likely that spending on social services, military type service repairs will increase. The decrease will increase, unless, of course, interest rates won't go down. The rates remain high enough for longer. Decrease 1%. Investors will demand more interest or accept less interest on a manual day loan to the United States. Now that our currency is debasing at an even faster pace, that our countries will sell or buy treasuries to insure themselves from potential sanctions while we head into the dollar weakness. That investors will buy Bitcoin at fifth of a trillion market cap with no sustainability market of gold, 10 trillion market cap with artificial price cap. So gold's going to go up. The material number of world's 50 million miners will at least have 1 billion on Bitcoin, which is probably because there's only 90 million Bitcoin minted. Guess what happens in the price when they do start competing in the market where 85% of supply has not changed hands, even during SBF debacle. That's true. When the world has When the world was down on TikTok, on the mob tried to lynch it. Why didn't they? Because they couldn't try messing around with Bitcoin and find out when only 5 people have the cell phone, they have walkie-talkie, then they just have them, which changes the world. Get ready for Bitcoin network. Bitcoin is a vote against Davos, against Uniparty, against the Fed, against censorship, against high temperance, gravity, cancel culture, vaccines, war machines, pronounce, gun control, and everyone doesn't serve. That's funny. And on that note, we're gonna go and do a round of action. We'll go back to work. Sure. Yes, no? Yes, no. Okay. Keep going. Let's see what happens here. All right. Okay, let's just focus on the center. We have to change, protect our flanks. Okay. Let's call this. Let's see, gonna do air? No. No. One sniper. Now I think I'm gonna have to. You may go left. Alright, it's fine. We'll go like this. Let's prepare for the Phoenix's arrivals. Is he flanking me? He'd pick up the thing, trench? Yes, he did. Okay. Oh man, he got level 2. What? The sniper won? Good one. Hmm. 30,000 damage. Hmm. Let's see what he's gonna do. Damn it. The left flank is suffering because of that airstrike. Okay. Snipe him, snipe him, snipe him. Okay. Something like that. Okay, shields are holding. Need to range my phoenixes. Okay. Oh boy, that's gonna hurt. Oh no. Did he take the weapon? He also took the range. Hmm. Okay, go my crawlers. Does he upgrade? Oh, he upgraded the cannons, okay. Try to do the sniping war with the tanks. It's cool. Okay, that was pretty good. Let's go back to this.